Hey there and welcome back to Sims Sunday. My name is Pete and in this series we try to fully complete The Sims 3. And as we watch Ayesha grab breakfast here, I can already tell you we have a big pile of completion ahead of us. 2 careers, 2 lifetime wishes and a bunch of other things, all of that and more in today's episode. Ayesha has now teleported herself off for some collecting, and we can watch Paul begin his morning routine. While he's taking a shower, we can quickly hop over to his daughter Pauline and grab her a bunch of lifetime rewards. We will first take Multitasker, that will make career progress a bit easier. Then we'll grab Office Hero to be able to improve our relationships with our coworkers faster. And then also Long Distance Friend to make all those relationships last. While her father now grabs breakfast, Pauline will spend the morning with the Logic skill book. She did reach level 10 in the Athletic skill last episode, and today it's time to do the same with the Logic skill. A short while later, Chastity is awake, and while Paul has already begun playing with the Sim Life goggles, she can now also grab something to eat. Now it's time for some minor rearrangements in the garage. First of all, let's empty the thing out. That includes the lamps and the garage doors. Then we can drag the front wall back 1 tile. Delete this little thing on the side here and fill it up with some fencing. That doesn't look too great, but it's only going to be a temporary thing. We can then put the garage doors back in, place the 2 parking lots inside and also put the cars back in. But by moving the wall, we now gained enough space to also put a parking lot outside. And let's actually place 2 because we also have 2 inside. Inside we can now reinstall our lights. And then we can use our newly found parking spaces. The police cruiser has been in Patrick's inventory for a while. Now it can have its own spot right outside. And while we're at it, let's also sell some money tree harvests here. Back in the house, Chastity is cleaning up, while Paul has maxed out his fun bar and can now write for a while, at least until he has to leave for work. And as Paul puts a pair of Sim Life goggles down, Chastity puts one on, we want to slightly raise her fun bar as well. Just a few moments later, her fun bar is maxed out and Chastity can now invite her boss over. We already tried to get her promoted that way in the last episode, that didn't really work, maybe it works today. And speaking of promotions, Paul can now teleport off to start his shift, and I see no reason why he shouldn't earn himself another promotion this time. And finally, the last household member awake is Patrick, who has a day off and can start that day in the garden. And while he's busy harvesting, we can see that Chastity's boss has already arrived. While Chastity and her boss are talking, let's jump back over to Pauline, who has just successfully reached level 10 in the Logic skill. And both the Logic and the Athletic skill are the only 2 skills she will really need in the criminal career, so with those 2 maxed out, she is pretty much set for life now, and I think that can be celebrated with a nice meal. Afterwards, Pauline can leave, I will tell you where exactly in a minute, but more of interest right now is the fact that we can actually ask for a promotion now. So while Chastity also fulfills herself the wish to mooch a few simoleons here, let's see if our request is successful. Wonderful, Chastity gets promoted to level 9 of the symphonic branch in the music career, and that means she's only 1 more promotion away from completing that career path. Patrick is done in the garden and is eating breakfast now, but let's once again jump over to Pauline. She has made it to the home of one of her colleagues, and she's now going to build her first co-worker relationship here. Chastity, meanwhile, really doesn't have anything else to do, so let's send her over to the park to make us a bit of money playing for tips. Pauline's conversation is going well, and here we have an opportunity for Paul. If we bring a self-painted painting to work, we can increase our co-worker relationships, and since those are moderately important in the business career, let's accept. And from one opportunity to another, Patrick has harvested enough high-quality cheese, and we can now bring those to the diner for a nice reward. And here he is, Patrick has now learned the secrets of planting burger and steak plants. We are now only one opportunity away from the Omni plant, and that is also the last obstacle before we can complete the gardening skill. With his newfound knowledge, Patrick will now go grocery shopping. We will buy a patty and a steak, and we can then send him home for some planting. Meanwhile, Pauline and Andrea have become friends, but I would actually like their relationship to grow a bit further. And to achieve that, we can pretty much spam the admire option here. Alright, Patrick has now planted both a burger patty and a steak, and so he can now pay the bills, then grab the mail, and we can sell whatever we can straight from his inventory. Pauline's athletic skill certificate will go right over here, next to the ones for Pete and Aisha. With Patrick, we can now stock our pond with deathfish. He has enough of those in his inventory, and this now creates an infinite supply of deathfish right here at home. Patrick can then also start fishing with no particular bait. We simply need to get the number of caught fishes up for him. At 2 PM then, Paul's workday comes to an end, and no surprises here, Paul gets promoted. That in itself is not a huge event, however, this is the 4th career where he makes it to level 5. And that is exactly what he needed to do for the Jack of all trades lifetime wish. Pauline and Andrea improved to best friends, which also fulfills a wish for Pauline, but the relationship bar is still not maxed out yet, so we can have them keep going for a while longer. Paul meanwhile has made it back home, and since his next workday is very likely also ending in a promotion, we don't have to do anything work related with him right now and can instead have him continue to write. Alright, Pauline and Andrea have maxed out their relationship bar, so Pauline can now leave and it is now time for her next visit. Since the rest of her co-workers do not seem to be home at the moment, the next logical person to visit is her boss. Pauline and her boss actually have a bit of a bad relationship at the moment, but more on that in a second. For now, we can quickly jump back to Chastity. After her promotion this morning, it now makes sense to tackle the opportunity we still had stored up, as teaching a music class in school will increase her work performance. So let's send her off and then jump back to Pauline. As you can see here, Pauline's interactions are not very well received, and sadly, apart from an apology here, that also doesn't change much. So in the end I was forced to have her leave again. We were hurting the relationship more than we were helping it here. While Pauline was busy making things worse with her boss, Chastity actually completed her opportunity. And we can see here she received a substantial boost to the work performance meter. Pauline meanwhile has visited another co-worker's house. Sadly, the person in question wasn't home, so Pauline's relationship building afternoon ends less successful than I expected. But that's nothing to worry about, there are still other things we can take care of. And while in the background Pauline now grabs something to eat, Chastity can throw a party. As you can see, all work performance requirements are bright green apart from the orchestra members, and this party is hopefully going to change that. We are inviting all of Chastity's co-workers, and thanks to Chastity's legendary host lifetime reward, all of them should have a great time. Chastity and Pauline can then chat for a moment until the party starts, and then it's Chastity's turn to build relationships, more specifically with the only co-worker she hasn't befriended yet. In the meantime, Pauline has taken a shower and will now head to bed while the party's going on around her, and also because I really didn't have anything else to do with her today. After spamming the admire option for a while, Chastity and Brand become good friends, but let's push things a bit further still. Alright, we have acquired a new best friend. That also maxes out the work performance requirement, and with the added bonus of a successful party on top, I think this should be more than enough now. So let's tell everyone to leave, and then Chastity can head to bed where her husband Paul is already sleeping. Patrick can then do the same just a few seconds later, and after sending away a few gems to be cut, a returning Ahisha can also get some sleep. And with everyone nicely tucked in, let's skip ahead to the next morning. And things begin with another round of criminal activities with Pauline. After teleporting off to the office building, Pauline can first steal a car. Then we can have a run over to the park, and how about we steal a statue? Yep, that's right, Pauline just stole what is probably one of the most prominent sites in town. Next to the police station then we find another car, and right next to the law enforcement officers we commit our third and last crime for tonight. Back at home, Paul is also awake again and already playing with the SimLife goggles. All the writing made him stressed yesterday, and with another day of work ahead of him, we definitely need to raise that fun bar. A short while later then Pauline returns and can have some well-earned breakfast. Chastity meanwhile has begun working from home. Despite the work performance boost from the opportunity yesterday, I don't want to leave anything to chance today. I definitely want her to get that last promotion in one go. Then Patrick wakes up and his most pressing need is definitely some social interaction. Luckily, the ghost of his father is still hanging around, so how about a little quality time between father and son? Then, while Chastity cleans up, let's head into the family inventory, where I think we can sell both of the cars and also a few other things. But let's actually hold on to the statue for now. I think that might just be something that could fit our lot. Patrick has now filled his social bar back up, and that means both Pauline and Patrick can now make their way over to the garden, where Pauline can help her uncle out. She doesn't have anything else to do, and Patrick's work shift starts soon, so he could use some assistance. Inside, Paul can put the SimLife goggles down, and with a good hour still until he has to go to work, he can write for the remainder of the time. Just a short while later, Patrick and Pauline wrap things up in the garden. Patrick can stay outside for some fishing, while Pauline can help her grandmother Ahisha raise her social bar. I would have loved to do that with Pete's ghost, but sadly that has disappeared already. For Paul, it is now time to embark on a new workday, and once again I expect nothing short of a promotion. Back at home, Pauline can now use the laptop to play a few computer games and slowly raise her fun bar. We have a bit of time to spend, while Ahisha teleports off for some collecting. By the way, if you're asking yourselves why we're still collecting with Ahisha, yes, we have collected everything there is to collect, but we are currently not in possession of a rainbow gem, and I would like to have at least one to put that on display later. For Patrick, it is now time to also get to work, and maybe for the last time. If nothing major happens, then Patrick is pretty much guaranteed a promotion today, and with that he would reach level 10 of the science career, completing that career path. Pauline has now maxed out her fun bar, and breaking the laptop was apparently the price to pay for that. Anyway, up next I would like her to check for real estate. There are quite a few lots in town that we can't just click on and buy them, especially for all the residential lots we'll have to go through the phone or the computer. And let's start small here for the moment, and for 1,200 simoleons we can buy the small residential lot here. A look on the map confirms things. We now own this place. We probably won't ever do anything with it, but still. By the way, let me know in the comments if you want us to include all those residential lots as well. For now we were only buying the true commercial lots, but we could as well literally buy out the entire town. Pauline can now quickly grab the mail, and we can make our money back and then some. Her logic skill certificate will go in her room. And then we can fulfill her a quick wish. Pauline wants to donate 100 simoleons to Undermine charity, and well, that is a wish easily fulfilled. We are going to stick with Pauline for a while longer, because up next we're going to embark on a new skill journey with her. Because Pauline will now pick up the painting skill. And that has more than one reason. Number one, for the moment, Pauline lacks a true moneymaker skill. Both logic and athletic are not really skills that bring cash to the household. Additionally, with both logic and athletic already maxed out, Pauline doesn't really have anything to do other than to occasionally talk to her coworkers. And number 3, our designated painter Paul is going to die eventually, and then somebody else will need to be able to paint portraits. I think apart from painting, Pauline will also help Patrick with the garden, but as long as she sticks to harvesting, she doesn't really need the gardening skill for that. Alright, the laptop has now been repaired as well, and I think it's now about time to prepare Chastity for her workday. Just like Patrick, she could complete a career today, and after working from home for quite a while now, I'm very optimistic that she actually gets that done. To live through the workday, however, we will need to get her fun bar up first. Then it's time for something to eat, just a quick meal this time. And then, before we can send her off, we have to jump back over to the science facility. Patrick's workday has come to an end, and as expected, he gets promoted. And with that, he has now earned himself the last promotion in the science career. Patrick is now a mad scientist, and we can mark career number 10 as completed. Completed is also Pauline's very first painting, although it is far from spectacular. We can sell that one now for 3 simoleons and then send Pauline back to bed. Her work shift starts late in the evening and then goes until the early morning, so she can use the rest now. Chastity meanwhile can teleport herself off to the theater and hopefully follow in Patrick's footsteps and complete another career today. Patrick meanwhile is busy fishing again and working towards completion of the commercial fisherman skill challenge. For that he needs to catch about 80 more fish, and death and angelfish are probably not prime targets for that because of their rather low catch rate. So Patrick is now instead fishing for minnow in the park across from home. At 3 PM his brother Paul finishes his shift at the office, and once again, unsurprisingly, he gets promoted. And this promotion to level 6 in the business career brings something new with it. Paul is now able to hold meetings, and well, actually he's required to do so, as the number of meetings held is now a work performance factor. So let's begin right away with meeting number 1. 1.5 hours later, the meeting is done, we earn 750 simoleons, and the work performance factor looks slightly better. Still far from perfect though, so let's simply hold another round. At home meanwhile, Pauline is well rested again, and so she can now get up and grab some lobster before she needs to go to work. For Paul then the second meeting comes to an end, and once again it looks like he could use one more, so since it is not too late yet, let's do exactly that. Pauline has now grabbed something to eat, she has taken a shower, and she has also equipped her, well, questionable looking career outfit, but she does not actually have to leave yet, so let's have her spend a bit more time painting. And after just a few seconds with the brush, she reaches level 1 in the painting skill. Then at 8 PM, Chastity's workday comes to an end, and of course she is successful. Here is another promotion. Chastity is now a hit movie composer. She gets 9,000 lifetime happiness points for that, and we complete both the symphonic career branch of the music career, as well as the hit movie composer lifetime wish. Chastity will now play guitar for tips outside of the theater, and we can jump back over to Paul, who finishes his third and final meeting for today. We will still have to hold 1 or 2 on the weekend, but for today he can head home. Pauline meanwhile can finally start her criminal workday and teleport herself over to the warehouse for another shift. Back at home, Paul meanwhile grabs dinner, and afterwards he can head to bed early. After all, it was a busy day for him. Just a short while later, Chastity joins him. The audience in front of the theater was a bit small, and playing for tips therefore not really worth it. Outside, Ayesha returns from a long but sadly unsuccessful collecting trip. She has collected a few valuable gems that she's now sending away, but sadly no rainbow gem among them. Patrick meanwhile has made some nice progress towards the commercial fisherman skill challenge. He still needs about 60 more fish, but at the rate he's currently going, he should be able to complete that in the next few days. For now though, he can head to bed as well, and so can Ahisha, and that means the only person still awake is Pauline. And her shift is just coming to an end, and once again accompanied by a promotion. Pauline is now a getaway driver, and hopefully that will also make her lose that outfit. At least for Pauline, the night is still young though, so let us once again use her kleptomaniac trait and steal another car right in front of its owner's house. Over by the beach we will now actually run into someone's backyard, because whoever lives here owns a nice fountain. Sadly though we can't steal that, maybe it's a bit too valuable, but the grill is also a fine alternative. Object number 3 will then be the bar, and I think it is now about time we send Pauline back home. Back home is, by the way, where both Paul and Chastity have gotten up again. Both of them are already well rested, and so Paul can now continue to write while Chastity reads the logic skill book, which will hopefully allow her to reach level 10 shortly. But with Pauline now returning, I think it's about time we make a cut here. We still want to leave a bit of stuff to do for the next episode. As always, if you liked this episode, I'd be happy if you could leave a thumbs up, and I can now say thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.